Opposition coalition is Bolaji Abdullahi, and it's African Democratic Congress spokesperson, and the wider opposition coalition. As we unpack the big questions shaping the political conversation today in the country, from the government's performance so far, issues of the economy, and to the persistent groaning of an average person in the parity of the naira to the dollar, 1,500 and above, security challenges to the internal reorganization of the ADC. Let's speak with Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, who is live for us in our studio here. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
You heard what the spokesperson to the president said. It does look like everything is perfect in the country.
I had him. I had him. And I feel sorry for President Tinubu. Because if this is the kind of narrative that he gets to hear all the time, then it's natural that it's obvious that he lives in a bubble. And in the echo chambers of what they are telling themselves. The gentleman who just left here now was painting a picture of El Dorado, of a country. At a point I began to ask myself, maybe I'm in a kind of suspended animation. I'm no longer in Nigeria. I mean, he was talking about insecurity being degraded. There are 6 law students that are still missing. Imagine the parents of these children who are just going to school, abducted, and kidnappers have the nerve to actually be demanding 120 million to free these children. These children are still in captivity up till I speak. And someone sits here and tells us that insecurity is being degraded. I actually think that President Tinubu needs to leave the villa and go on the streets and talk to people and stop listening to this kind of narrative and stop listening to state governors who are just saying what they think they need to say to endear themselves to power rather than tell him the true feelings of the people.
So, in all what has been said, and the performance of this government, they said, look, they've delivered on this, they've delivered on that, but you in the opposition, they say you see the cup half empty. How about they are seeing it as half full? We are over the 2-year mark of this government. How do you see it? Half empty or half full?
The problem is not even whether it's half empty or half full. The problem is, what does the cup contain? What does the cup contain? Because when you are looking at the parameters, the analogy of half full, half empty, you are saying, oh, they are making efforts. No doubt.
Are they making effort?
Look, a man that will break into somebody's house to steal his things, an armed robber, will make effort. Everybody will make effort. The Yahoo boys doing things, they make effort. So the point I'm making is that it's not about the effort. It's about the consequences of your action. Whatever you think you are doing, how does it affect a citizen whose reason for voting for you presumably is to improve the quality of his life or to improve the quality of our life?
So, Malam,
do you know how many businesses have collapsed, even as we speak, by people who they have not done anything wrong?
So, Malam Abdullahi, I'm moved to ask you, and I put Nigeria.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Here is a successful again, a town hall, different from Blue Bulaba.
Ulaba. So Bolaji Abdullahi was just reminding us that it is not how the cup or the content of the cup appears, whether half full, half empty. It is the content that you should check. What kind of shege are they dishing out to you? Would you say Nigeria hasn't changed under Tinubu? Nigeria has changed. A lot has changed. A lot has, changed. So don't, because it won't be factual. If anybody says, "Oh, ma, nothing has changed since this Tinubu came to power," are you being serious? A lot has changed. A lot of you have now, officially admitted into the lifestyle of austerity. This time, nobody needed to tell you. Things turn upside down. For those who survived, that means those of you watching right now survived. But there are those who didn't. So it is the content of what they are dishing to you, whether not half empty or half full. You get what I mean? Now the content of the shege called renewed shege. You get what I mean now? Renewed shege. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Kind of. Then of course, Peter Obi. Some said it's actually might be part of their strategy. I don't know if there is a strategy. Okay. And in Kolu's voice, I don't want to sit here and release all my strategy. I'm coming back. I won't drink tea.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
That's part of what I have just to say. So some believe that since Tinubu and his gang are actually desperate to know what the plans of their coalition will be, would they be able to convince Atiku to be a statesman? And Obi and Amechi will slug it out? Or would they just give it to Obi and all that so that they can prepare? Because Tinubu and his gang needs to prepare for who is going to be that candidate, and they must be able to preempt it. Do you get what I mean now? Like say, oh, yes, sir, Obi is going to be their candidate. Oh, it's going to be Obi Abi. Now let us begin the process of dismantling anything Obi right now. Let's concentrate on him. So right now, Tinubu's sewage dwellers, right? They are fighting every fight. As they are doing tribalism here, they are fighting the North. The same North, though, they are calling them very, very, they are calling them betrayers. They're very, very ungrateful. Ashiwaju stood by the Bokwari. Now, Bokwari is dead anyway, so nobody can say Bokwari will be responsible for Tinubu's decimation. So on social media, the Ronukus, they are attacking the Igbos. And they are waiting for a day they will declare war so that they can go and fight the Igbos and chase them out of Yoruba land. On one hand. On the other hand, they are giving money to some of the, Kolushukus, all this, those ones who are the Ronukus of Igbo land, you know them. To go and help them tell the Igbos that Tinubu loves them so much. The Hausa and the Fulanis are collecting from their hands. Baba, have you seen now the Ronokus are always so happy when they see Shagia Adamu. Shagia Adamu say, Wallahi Tallahi, Ashiwaju is my candidate for 2027. I am from Nasarawa. You go see one Ronoku. He will just say, thank you, Jari Adamu. Adamu, God bless you, Adamu. God bless you for... You are not a betrayer like others. People that Ashiwaju that did everything to make Boko Haram this. Look at what the North are now doing. We look at all of them now. So if they see you from Northern Nigeria and you say something about Tinubu, like Ashiwaju go so Ashiwaju 2027 victory, you will see Ronukus. They will begin to befriend you. Because, Baba, it can't be like saying only them go have to actually arrange to bring Tinubu back. And that seems to be a very tough one. So on the one hand, they would be telling themselves, Ashiwaju don't get this and that in Northern Nigeria. It's got this, it's got all the governors, 23 governors. How you want to? But they are still worried that the North, they said the Northerners are betrayers. They betrayed Yorubas. Just so you know, Shashe, you get, it's not just yourself that the Ronukus are currently trying to start war with, including the Northerners. So yeah, maybe in that regard, they have decided to keep putting up different red flags, flags here, flags there. So Tinubu and his guys, they can be boxing like shadow boxing. Just saying. So they asked Bolaji Abdullahi, where is Obi? When is he going to join you? His answer:
the opposition, coalition, and ADC spokesperson. Thanks so much indeed. Your comment about Peter Obi is generating controversy within the PDP, and they thought that was very uncomplimentary what he said about Peter Obi and the possibility of Peter Obi going to the ADC, the PDP, and the fact that this is an Atiku coalition, and the fact that Peter Obi is already looking out for options, and the PDP is already cutting in. Doesn't that show that there is some problem within the ADC already? And you have not even started.
There's no problem within the ADC. Peter Obi has been part of the coalition from day one. Peter Obi has attended almost every meeting of the coalition. The reason Peter Obi has not come into the ADC as a card-carrying member was because he asked for leave to allow him to complete the election that his people were involved in his Labour Party. The same thing applied to Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, and they were allowed by the leadership to complete the election processes that they started in their respective parties before they come into the ADC. And that is what I know. As I speak to you,
Peter Obi is not a member of the ADC for now.
He's a member of the coalition.
But not a member of the ADC.
He's not a card-carrying member of the ADC yet, because he was given permission by the leadership to complete the election process that he started in the Legacy Party. He specifically asked for it, and the same way Malam Nasiru El-Rufai asked for it, and they were allowed to.
Why does it look like a lot of people have already summed up the answer even from the beginning? They say, look, all of these is for Atiku to get a ticket, and it's an Atiku coalition. And the reason perhaps people are thinking that Peter Obi is already being cutted in the PDP.
I mean, I can understand PDP cutting anybody that looks like can give them a lifeline. I mean, I can understand that. But what I know for a fact is that Peter Obi is in the coalition. I also know for a fact that this is not an Atiku coalition. What is at stake goes beyond. Like I said repeatedly, the ADC is not built around anybody's individual ambition. What is at stake is much bigger than every individual. And look, Chill, I'm 56. Who says I don't want to be president? Who says I don't want to be president? So we are doing this because we want to...
Because already you have a Kachiku problem. You are having an Atiku reputation problem you are having?
What do you mean by Atiku reputation?
Because they think that Atiku, that is a coalition. All of you are working to the answer.
No, that's not true. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, you can...
No, I'm saying it to you as a journalist.
No, yeah, I understand.
Although you know you retired.
I can tell you.
You're a retired journalist. But I'm reporting to you to tell you that it's a feeling, and the perception out there is that this is all about this is do you orchestration and
do you recollect that even from the start, even before we unveiled the coalition, they were coming out to say Atiku coalition. Atiku coalition. It was deliberately engineered to brand it an Atiku coalition.
Is it not?
It is absolutely not an Atiku coalition. And we'll continue to maintain, and people will see.
Yeah.
You know, so
but Malam Abdullah, we're totally out of time. In 20 seconds, if you may, why should Nigerians believe it?
It's all right. So Peter Obi is not officially part of the ADC, but he is a part of the coalition. So we just have to wait and see how that finally plays out, right? In Rivers State, it is believed that Fubara should normally return in September. Now, there is a problem. The appointment of a sole administrator by Tinubu is illegal, but they've allowed it to fly. So the sole administrator has appointed, first he sacked everyone appointed by Fubara, and then appointed replacements, including local government administrators. Against the Supreme Court ruling, Tinubu released the local government allocation to this guy. He is the guy who wanted to spend their 20 billion on CCTV in Port Harcourt in their 2025 budget. This guy wrote a budget that got approved by the National Assembly because they just have to do it, right? Now, the guy dissolved local government administration in the states, appointed sole administrators. And as we speak, the same guy dissolved the State Electoral Commission, appointed replacements. One of the reasons why Fubara ran into trouble was because he bypassed the State House of Assembly to go on and inaugurate or constitute and inaugurate the state SIEC, so to say. And they said that was one of his sins. So right now, the sole administrator, Ibas, has appointed SIEC chairman, SIEC board and everything, and he has picked a date for local government election. And they want to do this probably 3 weeks before Fubara returns. Something that, of course, it is. As with the wiki plotted it. But a group has come out to say, no, we won't let this happen and blah, 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 blah. Not that they are significant or matters in the scheme of things, but at least they are openly rejecting this.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. May I please stand on existing protocols? My name is Comrade Imeabe Savior Oscar. I represent Southside Youth Initiative. I also represent Coalition of Rivers State Youth Bodies. Before I proceed, may I please call on the attention of the Vice Chairman. Good afternoon, sir. I want to sincerely ask few questions. And these questions are also questions that is so much in the society in Rivers State now. There is a question, sir. And the first question is, how will an undemocratic process give birth to a democratic process? That's the first question, sir. Secondly, sir, it is obvious that as we speak, the emergency rule in Rivers State may as well be a lingering situation or lingering challenge to the success of the forthcoming local government election. May I also ask, what is the possibility that Rivers State resources will not be abused after the conduct of this election because litigation, a lot of persons are preparing for litigation just after the election. And what is the possibility that this election or those that will be elected by the conduct of the local government election will not be thrown out of office by the upcoming litigations. Secondly, finally, sir, I also want to believe that as we speak right now, sir, the emergency rule is not telling good on us. I watched on the news of what played out in the National Assembly, where we also question the legitimacy of a non-Indigen as a recent chairman. How are we going to be able to handle situations like this when the election will come up? What is the possibility, sir, that people may turn up to vote come 30th of August when the election will come up? What is the possibility, sir, that people may turn up to vote come 30th of August as a result of this election and as a result of the emergency rule, that so many Rivers people are not happy and also need the reinstatement of the suspended government? Thank you and God bless you.
And you too. I don't know if you got his answers, right? But they are hell bent on going ahead to conduct the election. Like he said, as bad as Nigerian court is, right? I don't know if Wike will let that happen though. And if any court rule that the election is wrong, Wike will get it overturned probably at another court or in another court or at another level too. Well, I'll leave that for now. A lot of us have been seeing a series of sponsored protests against Nigerians in Ghana, where Ghanaians have been incited to hit the streets, blame Nigerians for whatever the economic imbalance or what have you that they faces in their country, leveraging on the propaganda as well as the bigotry, this tribal war, online tribal war between Nigerians as well. So they have done so well enough to target what do you call it? That Igbos are their main target, especially when the 2013 video of a self-made Igbo king in Accra, a video that the man came out later to debunk and say, well, no, there's nothing like that anymore. So it is obvious that they actually possibly have people sponsoring that. So a minister from Ghana who was with a minister in Nigeria, Odime Gojuku's wife, who is a minister now, Bianca. So they had a press conference where this Ghanaian minister has a message for some of you, because they know that all those things you are seeing online, they are actually being sponsored. So what is the end goal? Nobody knows. It is beyond Igbo this or Igbo that as we speak. And here is what they said their president has for all of you. With your Igbophobia too. Maybe you should watch this.
On behalf of President John Dramani Mahama, we welcome the Minister of State from the Federal Republic of Nigeria in charge of Foreign Affairs to Ghana. We have just concluded a very successful bilateral discussion on the recent disturbances which have sought to undermine the cordial and friendly relations that has existed between our two countries historically. The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nigeria has conveyed a message from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which message will also be delivered to his brother, President John Dramani Mahama. And it is a message of peace, it is a message of love, it is a message that reiterates the inseparable bond of friendship and brotherhood between our two countries. As we have agreed, the video that went viral, which incensed Ghanaians legitimately, we were all outraged when we saw that video. That video has been condemned by our counterparts from Nigeria. They have reprimanded the gentleman. He has been asked not to engage in such statements and such commentary. As you do know, I had met him earlier, and he was very contrite in the meeting, has apologized. He's issued a public statement apologizing to President Mahama, to the government